What is the history of trees? What are they doing in our world? What are the benefits of them? Why trees are everywhere in my city? Have you ever think about these questions? Hello folks, my name is Salman Khan and I am on a mission which is let's discover the world together. If you are my subscriber, you might know that I have started a playlist on the history of trees, and in this video I'm going to tell you what is the definition and overview of trees. So don't go anywhere, let's start our video. What's the definition of trees? Although tree is a term of common parlance, there is no universally recognized precise definition of what a tree is, either botanically or in common language. In its broadest sense, a tree is any plant with the general form of an elongated stem or trunk which supports the photosynthetic leaves or branches at some distance above the ground. Trees are also typically defined by height, with smaller plants from 0.5 to 10 meter being called shrubs. So the minimum height of a tree is only loosely defined. Large herbaceous plants such as papaya and bananas are trees in this broad sense. A commonly applied narrower definition is that a tree has a woody trunk formed by secondary growth, meaning that the trunk thickens each year by growing outwards. In addition to the primary upwards growth from the growing tip, under such a definition, herbaceous plants such as palms, bananas, and papayas aren't considered trees regardless of their height, growth form, or stem girth. Certain monocotyledonous may be considered trees under a slightly looser definition, while the Joshua tree, bamboos, and palms don't have secondary growth and never produce true wood with growth rings. They may produce pseudowood by lignifying cells formed by primary growth. Tree species in the genus dracaena, despite also being monocotyledonous, to have secondary growth caused by meristem in their trunk, but it is different from the thickening meristem found in dicotyledonous trees. Aside from structural definitions, trees are commonly defined by use, for instance as those plants which yield lumber. That's it. Now let's talk about the overview of trees. The tree growth habit is an evolutionary adaptation found in different groups of plants. By growing taller, trees are able to compete better for sunlight. Trees tend to be tall and long-lived, some reaching several thousand years old. Several trees are among the oldest organisms now living. Trees have modified structures such as thicker stems composed of specialized cells that add structural strength and durability, allowing them to grow taller than many other plants and to spread out their foliage. They differ from shrubs, which have a similar growth form by usually growing larger and having a single main stem. But there is no consistent distinction between a tree and a shrub, made more confusing by the fact that trees may be reduced in size under harsher environmental conditions such as on mountains and subarctic areas. The tree form has evolved separately in unrelated classes of plants in response to similar environmental challenges, making it a classic example of parallel evolution. With an estimated 60,000 to 1 lakh species, the number of trees worldwide might total 25% of all living plant species. The greatest number of these grow in tropical regions, and many of trees areas haven't yet been fully surveyed by botanists, making tree diversity and ranges poorly known. Tall herbaceous monocotyledonous plants such as banana lack secondary growth but are trees under the broadest definition. The majority of tree species are angiosperms or hardwoods. Of the rest, many are gymnosperms or softwood trees. These include conifers, cycads, gingophytes, and nettles, which produce seeds which aren't enclosed in fruits, but in open structures such as pine cones, and many have tough waxy leaves such as pine needles. Most angiosperm trees are audicots, the true dicotyledons, so named because the seeds contain two cotyledons or seed leaves. There are also some trees among the old lineages of flowering plants called basal angiosperms or paleodicots. These include amborella, magnolia, nutmeg, and avocado, while trees such as bamboo, palms, and bananas are monocots. Wood gives structural strength to the trunk of most types of tree. This supports the plant as it grows larger. The vascular system of trees allows water, nutrients, and other chemicals to be distributed around the plant, and without it, trees wouldn't be able to grow as large as they do. Trees, as relatively tall plants, need to draw water up the stem through the xylem from the roots by the suction produced as water evaporates from the leaves. If insufficient water is available, the leaves will die. The three main parts of trees include the root, stem, and leaves. They are integral parts of the vascular system which interconnects all the living cells. In trees and other plants that develop wood, the vascular cambium allows the expansion of vascular tissue that produces woody growth. Because the growth ruptures the epidermis of the stem, woody plants also have a cork cambium that develops among the phloem. The cork cambium gives rise to thickened cork cells to protect the surface of the plant and reduce water loss. Both the production of wood and the production of cork are forms of secondary growth. Trees are either evergreen, having foliage that persists and remains green throughout the year, or deciduous, shedding their leaves at the end of the growing season and then having a dormant period without foliage. Most conifers are evergreens, but larches are deciduous, dropping their needles each autumn, and some species of cypress shed small leafy shoots annually in a process known as cladoptosis. The crown is the spreading top of a tree, including the branches and leaves, while the uppermost layer in a forest formed by the crowns of the trees is known as the canopy. Many tall palms are herbaceous monocots. These don't undergo secondary growth and never produce wood. In many tall palms, the terminal bud on the main stem is the only one to develop, so they have unbranched trunks with large spirally arranged leaves. Some of the trees, ferns, order cythiles, have tall, straight trunks growing up to 20 meters, but these are composed not of wood, but of rhizomes which grow vertically and are covered by numerous adventitious roots. So my dears, this was our video. Now I wanna turn it over to you. Press the like button if you really like the video or you got something new today. Also press subscribe red button to get more awesome videos, because you know future videos will be awesome. And more important thing about subscribing is that let's discover the world together. Goodbye, stay blessed, and bundle of thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing. If you have subscribed, let's discover the world together. Bye bye.